Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a method that has absolutely transformed entire industries by getting rid of errors with almost perfect precision. We're talking about Six Sigma, a seriously powerful tool for improving just about anything you can measure. But let's kick things off with a question. Have you ever wondered why even the best companies, the ones at the top of their game, sometimes ship a faulty product or deliver a really frustrating service? It happens all the time, right? Well, that's the exact problem Six Sigma was designed to solve. So here's our game plan. We'll start with this quest for quality. Then I'll introduce you to Six Sigma itself. After that, we'll uncover the simple formula that's at its core. And finally, we'll see how it helps businesses go from just guessing to actually guaranteeing results. All right, let's jump right into part one, the quest for quality. See, every business wants to be great, but there's this hidden enemy that is constantly, and I mean constantly, getting in the way. We tend to focus on the end result, the cracked phone screen, the late delivery. But here's what Six Sigma teaches us. The real enemy isn't that one singular error. Nope. It's the inconsistency, the variation in the process itself that created the opportunity for that error to happen. So, how do you fight this variation? Well, for a long time, a lot of businesses just relied on intuition. A manager gets a gut feeling, they run with it, and then they deal with the fallout later. The Six Sigma way is completely different. It's all about making decisions based on cold, hard data. You measure, you analyze, and you test your ideas with real numbers before you roll them out. It's a massive shift from being reactive to being proactive. Okay, so let's quickly recap this first bit. Variation is the real villain here. It opens the door for errors. Those errors turn into defects, and defects, well, they lead to unhappy customers. And just relying on a gut feeling, that's way too risky in today's world. So now that we've really zeroed in on the problem of variation, let's talk about the solution. Six Sigma. What is this thing really? At its heart, Six Sigma is actually two things at once. First, it's a step-by-step methodology, a really structured way to improve pretty much any process. And second, it's a statistical concept. It gives us a language and a tool to actually measure and define how much variation is lurking in that process. And the main objective? It's simple, but it's incredibly powerful. The whole goal of Six Sigma is to systematically hunt down and reduce that variation we've been talking about. When you do that, you automatically reduce the chances for things to go wrong. And when you do that, the results are huge. I mean, you cut costs because you're not wasting time and money on fixing mistakes. Customer satisfaction skyrockets because they get a reliable, predictable product every single time. And maybe most importantly, it gives leaders a solid, data-backed foundation to check their assumptions before they bet the farm on a new idea. So the key takeaway here is that Six Sigma isn't some kind of magic. It's a disciplined, data-driven way to improve things that focuses on squeezing out inconsistency to build a much stronger, healthier business. Okay, now we get to the really cool part. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the core logic that gives Six Sigma all its power. This is how it actually works. I mean, we know we need to fight variation, but how do you know where to even start looking? How do you get past the obvious symptoms to find what's really causing the problem? And this right here, this is the secret sauce. This simple little equation, y equals f of x, is the absolute heart of Six Sigma. Think of it like this. The y is the outcome, the big, visible problem you can see, like your unhappy customers. The x's, those are all the little inputs, the hidden, sneaky causes that are creating that outcome. The formula just says that your problem, y, is a function of its causes, the x's. If you want to fix the y, you have to find and control the x's. Okay, let's make this super practical. Imagine your problem, your y, is that your pizza deliveries are always late. So you brainstorm all the possible causes, all your X's. Could be traffic, oven temperature, the driver's routes, maybe even errors when taking the order. Now, instead of just guessing, you use data to analyze each one. And bingo, the data shows that inefficient driver routes are the #1 cause. So you don't just yell at your drivers to drive faster. You focus on fixing the critical X, the routing process. And that's how you solve your why for good. So the huge idea here is a fundamental shift in your thinking. Stop wasting all your energy treating the symptom, the why. Use data to find and permanently fix the root cause, the X. And that leads us perfectly into our final section. Because when you start thinking this way, it becomes about so much more than just fixing one little problem. It's about changing the entire culture of how you work. I love this quote from the source material. It just sums it all up so well. See, Six Sigma doesn't throw experience out the window. An employee's intuition that something is wrong is incredibly valuable. But Six Sigma gives you the tools to prove it with data, turning that hunch into a hard fact. It's a partnership between human experience and statistical proof. And when that becomes the new normal, you create a culture of evidence. The question in meetings completely changes from, so who's got a good idea, to, okay, what is the data telling us? It's a powerful transformation that takes ego and opinions out of the equation and just replaces them with facts. So let's wrap this all up. Here are the key takeaways for your Six Sigma toolkit. The goal? Relentlessly, obsessively reduce variation. The method? Let data drive every single decision. The focus? Attack the root causes, the X's, not the symptoms, the Y's. And the result? Better quality, happier customers, and a way healthier bottom line. So what does this all really mean? At the end of the day, Six Sigma teaches you and your organization to stop running around putting out fires and to start fireproofing the entire building. It's about building quality and predictability right into the very foundation of how you work. And that is a much, much smarter way to do business.